Anti-illegal mining campaigners, including the Eco-Conscious Citizens Group, have strongly condemned the attack on journalists and officers of the Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, in the Ashanti region. Reports indicate that the convoy of the EPA team came under attack from a group of illegal miners at Dajini, a community near Obuasi. The assault reportedly forced the team, along with accompanying media personnel, to retreat from the area. However, while on their way back, the vehicle was involved in an accident at Afari, leaving several people injured. Coordinator of the Eco-Conscious Citizens, Awulat Sewa, described this incident as a major setback in the fight against illegal mining. She's calling for an immediate and thorough investigation to bring the perpetrators to justice and to ensure the safety of journalists and environmental officers working in such high-risk area. We'll engage Emmanuel Braikwekul on this. Emmanuel, tell me, the injured journalists have been hospitalized at the Afari Hospital, with another critically injured in the Tayin and also admitted to the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. Give me an update on that.
MF, as you rightly mentioned, these journalists had joined the Environmental Protection Agency to clamp down on some illegal mining equipment that are being used. You know, earlier on Wednesday, the EPA had gone out to journalists to clamp down on these champagne machines or warehouses that fabricate these machines for illegal mining. And so there was a similar operation that was being conducted yesterday. And yesterday, this team of journalists from different media houses, we are talking about the Multimedia group ourselves. We have three of our journalists in this incident. Also, we have Media General and also Channel 1 and City TV's also journalists also involved in this particular crash. Unfortunately, yesterday, they had gone for one of these exercises at one of the communities that's around Dajin. And when they were returning, they had intel that because they had gone there to destroy some fine machines and excavators of these illegal miners, and they had intel that the illegal miners had mounted some blockade on the road that they were supposed to use. In fact, when you are going to this community, you can either use the Obuasi Dunka road from Kumasi to that place, or you can either use the Bieni area to go to that place. And so because they were returning and they had wanted to use the route they used earlier, that's from Kumasi, Obuasi to Dunka, and then the community. But when they had the intel, they had to resort to another route that is from Diaso, and then you go to Ayamfre, Diaso, and then Bieni, and then you come to Kumasi in the Ashanti region. And whilst they were returning, they had almost reached Kumasi. And so the accident actually happened around Aferi, that is in the Achima Nwabieja district of the Ashanti region. They were returning from the place because of the attack. They didn't want to have any altercation with these illegal miners, so they had to resort to that route. And so when they were returning, that's when the unfortunate incident happened, where we had 5 of the journalists being in critical, sustaining varying degrees of injury. In fact, we had 2 of our journalists, multimedia journalists. One is a camera technician. He is Akwesi Abdomako. He unfortunately had a fracture to his thigh, and he's currently being admitted at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. And we understand that he has to undergo some surgery. And also one of our reporters, he is with Adum News, Joseph Obeng, and he also sustained some injury to the head. And in fact, our very own Nanaya Ojima also was part of the team of journalists there. We also have TV3's Ibrahim Abubakar, who also sustained some injuries as well. And also Channel 1's Doris Lonta also involved in that accident. In fact, as we speak now, all the 5 are still hospitalized, with Akwesi Abdomako at Konfanochi being prepared for surgery. In fact, with the other 4, they are still monitoring them so that in case there's anything they miss, they do not discharge them as soon as possible. So they are still under monitoring by the health workers at Aferi. So 4 of them are at Aferi, and then Akwesi Abdomako is currently at Konfanochi. In fact, we've also had the leadership of the Ghana Journalists Association in the Ashanti region, led by its chairperson, that's Kofi Edudumfe, and some members there visit these journalists who unfortunately were involved in this particular accident. And in fact, they have shared their solidarity messages, and they say that they are with them. And in fact, they stressed on the need for journalist protection whilst we are carrying out or discharging our duties as journalists. The need for us, the institutions that sometimes involve us in their works, protect us as journalists while we cover our discharge our duties. And so this has really been the situation on the ground. And in fact, that is currently what we have picked up so far with regards to this accident, MFR.
Great, Emmanuel. That's quite a detailed report. But quickly, though, have we heard anything about any arrest at all?
For now, we haven't had any official communications whatsoever regarding any arrest. And so, in case we have any details of that, we'll also share. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our love to our colleagues as well. Well, I've been joined by coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens Group, Aula Sewa. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Well, from an advocacy point of view, which you've always stood for, which you've always been doing, what does this incident really reveal about the growing risk faced by those enforcing environmental laws in illegal mining areas? And another case in point will be the attack on NIMES as well.
It's very difficult. I mean, I'm just so upset at what has happened. My heart goes out to everybody who was involved, the journalists who are putting their lives on the line to try and bring this situation to an end, or at least to inform us about what is going on. You know, we've been saying for a very long time that if we don't deal with this matter robustly, it's going to get out of hand. And it's for this reason that we ask for a targeted state of emergency. Just imagine illegal miners mounting roadblocks, forcing the team to use another route. This should not be happening. This should not be happening. But you see, there's also complicity. We have been going around saying, kind of excusing irresponsible mining, which is poisoning Ghanaians. Water is life. Without water, we'll all die. By arguments such as they need a livelihood. Nobody can poison other Ghanaians or decimate our forest reserves or remove the livelihood of other Ghanaians because they need a livelihood. So that argument needs to stop. Criminal activity is criminal activity, and we need to deal robustly with it before it gets out of hand. Look at the impunity going on. And it will continue to happen when we keep on making excuses for what is going on. And another lesson to be learned is that we need to do our recce, and we need to be able to call for reinforcement. I'm not quite understanding how the situation got the way it did and why the EPA team was not able to call for reinforcement.
Well, so thank you so much for joining us on the news, and we shall definitely be following this story as the EPA boss herself as well has been speaking.